I just think being a witch is like also being an artist and being very confident in yourself and knowing who you are, um, which is very amazing. Like most of the witches I know are very confident. Have you ever made anything fly?
Do you want to try it?
Gideon, I kind of like that room. The ceiling actually for once looked actually kind of cool.
Oh yeah, it's awesome. Hi.
The light you're using, it's very in tune with the story, and
it's the curtain. It's like a sheer pink curtain. Nice lighting.
It's really cool lighting. It's like movie set lighting, so that's very cool. Where are you at?
Nice. I am at an office.
It looks very unique with all the painting in the background. I'm trying to.
And these are my great grandmother's paintings.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they're so cool. They're like abstract humans, right? Or
was a witch. So.
Well, that's fitting, I think, because I just saw you in Craft Legacy recently. Now in Witch Hunt. I mean, is this like a theme for your career going forward? In a way, you're just
no, no, it's not. I'm like, I did Witch Hunt, and then I booked the Craft. I'm not trying to do witchy things, but it just so happened. It was like, no, it's not theme. It's not theme, but it's been fun.
Are you comfortable at least in the genre and stuff? It seems like, you know, you've done 2 films, so
yeah, I feel like I've been comfortable in every genre I've done. Just cool.
Yeah, and you've done different things too. I mean, you've done blockers too. That's like another one. When blockers, yeah. You know, it's a whole different array of characters and filmmaking. You know what I actually liked about the 2 witch movies you've done is that they're actually set in modern time. And it's like when I think of like witch movies in the genre, it's always like in the 1800s or early 1900s. You know, it's always like this historical kind of thing. This is like a more modern, I don't know, kind of more relatable because it's like everyday sort of teenagers in a way. Tell me if you kind of noticed that and like that aspect of it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it helped me relate to it more, you know, with I was once a teenage girl in a modern world. And yeah, it's cool bringing, you know, old tales to life in a more modern sense. It's awesome.
Mm-hmm. And plus you get to work with, I guess, people your age, which is kind of cool too, I'd imagine. Like there's a different sort of bond, I'm guessing, when you're working with just people your age group in a sense. How do you, and it's particularly in this film, how did you bond with the girls? Because like you guys have a connection on screen too. So I imagine you guys must have bonded off screen.
Yeah, Abby and I hit it off. We were just, because we're both nerds, like total freaking nerds.
In what ways? Like what's nerdy?
Just like the way we would goof off together. Like it's almost embarrassing, but we didn't care. We had a lot of fun together, and we were always laughing. Yeah, she's really funny.
Are you guys still in touch? Like, did you make a sort of connection where like lasts past the movie sort of thing?
We don't really keep in touch that much, but every once in a while we'll, you know, chat. She's so busy too, you know, working all the time.
Yeah. You know, how would you kind of describe this movie? Because like you could say it's like fantasy, there's horror, there's thriller elements. How do you kind of envision it when you first initially read the script? Would you kind of envision this movie being and sorts of genre and just like story wise too?
The way Elle wanted to do it, just I really loved, you know, how she wrote the script, and she felt very connected to like her sister that she grew up with, and her sister's name is Fiona, and you know how Claire kind of reminds Elle of herself, and you know, she knew what she wanted from the get-go. She knew what she wanted the film to look like. She knew what she wanted the sound design to be like. And I really liked that. Like, she was really manning the ship. And it was just nice to do a project where she had the vision, and you know, the way that the film ended up was the same way that she had talked about it with me when we met for lunch and initially discussed it.
Did you have, like, since you kind of build that relationship bond between you two, did you have, you'd say, some freedom to kind of improvise and make it your own, especially with you and Abigail? Just like, you know, when you see something.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And that's what I was saying, is like, we're all painting on the same canvas, and it was, you know, we had an understanding with each other, and Elle was very open to change, and it was nice to be able to collaborate and not feel awkward about bringing up ideas that, you know, I had.
Mm-hmm. And as an actor, I mean, that's kind of a dream, right? That you get to literally collaborate with the filmmaker, not necessarily just do off the script, and you kind of can share a vision.
Yeah, no, it's incredible.
You mentioned there's a family history of witchcraft potentially. So tell me about that, like your introduction to just knowledge of witchcraft prior to booking these roles. What were you kind of familiar with and weren't?
I mean, I was very familiar with the Salem witch trials, and you know, just like manifesting and, you know, that kind of stuff. And it wasn't really until I did the craft that I really became familiar with, you know, candle magic and learning how to do incantations and chanting, because I actually had to go to witch school for the craft. Like,
really? On set? Was this part of the film, or just in general, you just went on your own?
No, like in general, they had witches come and teach us. And one of the women, Pam Grossman, while I was filming Witch Hunt, I would listen to her podcast to kind of like gain more insight into modern day witchcraft, and then she ended up like working with us on the craft, which was really cool. Full circle.
Wow. I'm curious, as an outsider in this, you'd have a lot more information. Do you find it scary, freaky, or just maybe it's like the whole mystique of it, or I guess what people believe when they hear witchcraft, the misconception of it? Like, tell me, someone that doesn't know much besides, like, you hear, usually you kind of tie it in with something scary or weird, or you don't want to try something like that. How do you view it?
I think witchcraft is really beautiful. I think you can be a witch in many senses, like through your art. If you're a painter, if you're a musician, like dancing is very witchy. I just think being a witch is like also being an artist and being very confident in yourself and knowing who the fuck you are, which is very amazing. Like, most of the witches I know are very confident. And I think that happens because witchcraft makes you feel good about yourself. It makes you feel sexy. It makes you feel connected with the universe, with the earth. And also, when people hear witch, they think women, and it's not just women. I know a lot of male witches, warlocks, you know? Yeah. So
interesting. I didn't know
very
that.
Broad.
Yeah. It's kind of like, from what I'm hearing from you, it's like a lifestyle in a sense. It's not just like a thing. It's more of a way of living and doing things.
Yeah, definitely. It can be very easily integrated into your everyday life, because it doesn't have to be this big thing where you have to do like crazy things all the time. It can be very simple, you know?
Oh, so it's not this whole black magic sort of thing you initially think of immediately or connected with, you know, as an outsider. No. Oh, that's so cool. I learned something right now in that essence. That's awesome. That's really cool. It also leads me to ask you, what sort of things do you like to enjoy and do in your free time? Like any hobbies or interests outside of when you're performing? I'm guessing that's one of them.
Yeah, I mean, I love, God, I love playing music. I love roller skating. I'm a big roller skater.
It's a hidden art form. It's like a lost art form. You know, no one tends to roller skate anymore. I like that, you know?
Well, go down to Venice. You got all the OGs there every day, and they're still skating. And it's so fun to sit there and watch them and skate with them. And they're also welcoming and cool. And if eating food, exploring new restaurants.
What sort of food are you drawn to? Like, you probably are a foodie, so you try it all, but any
I eat
particular
everything.
Everything?
I've never been a picky eater. Like I've tried some really crazy shit. Like I've never been a picky eater.
What's probably the craziest you've tried that would throw people off? I ate liver as a kid. I grew up in Poland, so like liver was like normal.
Liver is like what's on the Shabbat dinner table. Chopped liver. That's nothing weird for me. Chicken feet, that was kind of out there.
Oh, really? Is it crunchy? Yeah. I've seen that like on reality shows.
You don't eat the bone. You like eat around it. I don't think I could do it again, but it was yummy. It wasn't bad.
Wow, that's interesting. You see, that's like a dare usually on like a challenge or something show, you know? But...
No, I had it at dim sum with my dad a long time ago, and it's actually really, really yummy. I think it's like a delicacy. Yeah,
it really is in some countries. Yeah, very true. Yeah. Well, I like that. So you're definitely into exploring, you know, especially food, which is great. I'm in Chicago, so it's like we consider ourselves
to be like Chicago for a year.
You did?
Yeah, I went to Columbia.
Oh, okay. Well, I went to DePaul, right down the street, basically.
Oh, yeah.
In the city.
My roommate that I was living with, I dropped out, and then she dropped out of Columbia and transferred to DePaul.
Wow. How did you like your Columbia and Chicago experience then? And you know the food.
I love Chicago. I love Chicago. Have you been to Kingston Mines?
I haven't, but I know a bunch of friends that have gone there. It's a great spot. It looks, I always see it driving by past the highway, you know?
You have to go. I lived right by Devil Dogs in the Loop.
Okay. I know exactly where that's at. Oh, that's so cool. So did you come back or any planned trips?
I've been back once to visit, but no, I haven't been back since.
That's awesome. Well, a lot of successful Columbia grads, like everywhere, you know, I've just like worked on a project with a few of them actually. So
that's cool.
Doing well at that school.
I didn't graduate, but.
Well, heck, you're doing well. I don't think you need to graduate at this point, but what you're doing, whatever it was, it worked, you know?
Thanks.
I guess I'd wrap up. Any plans? Are you kind of a Halloween person? And we're entering a Halloween season and people...
I'm a big Halloween person, but I'm going to be working over this Halloween. So I'm probably just going to chill. But, you know, I'll wear a cute outfit to set. I'll wear something witchy.
Well, that would be fitting, you know, in every set. Do you have any kind of Halloween traditions? Because like I love to watch like the old school horror movies or whatnot, like make it a thing.
Yeah, a big tradition in my family is, you know, watching the old movies. And my mom, you know, when we carve pumpkins, she makes roasted pumpkin seeds. And we eat them like all month, like they're little chips. Oh, so good.
I carve them
soy sauce and good.
Wow. So you sauce them up too. Wow, look at that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I give them to my mom to roast them. I just like, I carve the pumpkin and pull it all out and then she roasts them too and she likes it. So, you know, 2 for 1, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. Well, I had a lot of fun talking to you and I'm glad to connect. Like I said, I've been seeing you all over the Mustang, Blockers, Craft, like all these movies I've been actually watching lately, you know, catching up on and this one including. So I'm excited to see your career going forward and what's next, you know?
Thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely. Hope to connect on a next one then. Keep up doing all the fun work.
Definitely. Have a good day.
You too. Bye, Gideon.
Bye.